Special shout out to It's TLG. Welcome to the Tygon Squad. Want to see your name up here? Just leave a like and a comment. Let's get into it. Hello, you what's his faces. Welcome back to another video. Tygon here, and today I'm going to show you how to find your best sensitivity in Call of Duty Mobile and everything you need to know about settings. So this is going to be a pretty big video, so please watch the very end so you don't miss anything important. So let's get into it. I could just make a video showing you my sensitivity, but that's not going to necessarily help you. I'm going to show you guys how to find your very own sensitivity. This is going to benefit you more than mine would, and it's going to make you a better player. But some of you guys do seem very keen on seeing my settings and my sensitivity, so I'm going to show you guys that as well. So first off, let's go into settings. Now, simple mode is okay, but if you're actually trying to get good in advanced, use advanced mode. When your reaction speed gets to the level of the pro players, because the more you play, your reaction speed is just going to get better. If your reaction speed gets to that level, what you're going to need is advanced mode. Simple mode won't be able to keep up with you. So please make sure you have advanced mode. Now if we go into basic, what we're going to see right here is all of this information. Now I have aim assist on. 9 times out of 10 it's going to help you rather than hurt you. I also have quick run from prone on, because of course it's probably better to quick run from prone than to do it slowly. Now, fix right fire button. Please keep this checked, because if you don't have it on, it's going to basically make your fire button appear wherever you touch. And that's just not that good for me. Fast throw grenade, I have it on because it usually is just easier to use. I just tap it and I can measure and aim before I throw it. I don't usually cook my grenades, but if you do want to cook your grenades, turn this off. Now, joystick, auto sprint, I have that on. And fixed joystick, I have it off. That is because when you have it on, it makes it so your ADS, which is your aim down sights button, it makes it so it can look around and move from where you're pushing it in. So I don't necessarily like that. I just want it to go in and shoot. I don't need to look in through my ADS button. Now for ADS, aim down sights, this is your scoping button. This is what this affects. It's kind of weird, but so it should look like a little scope. The ADS button looks like a scope with a bullet. This just looks like a scope. So I have tap and hold to ADS. Now what this does, it basically makes it like a console. As you guys have probably played a console COD Mobile, not COD Mobile, but console Call of Duty. When you scope in, it only stays in as long as you have the button pushed down. And this is what this does, tap and hold to ADS. Now if you didn't have that on, it makes it hard to actually switch to hip firing. So that's what I do. Now, I also have display left fire button on because I like it like that. But yeah, actually, it allows me to do different things. For example, I don't always want to use the ADS button. This is the bullet with the plus sign. Please keep in mind. So I don't always want to use that button. Sometimes I want to use that because if you're trying to go pro or be like a pro player or really good in general, you're going to need to use this. You don't always need to use the ADS button. Sometimes you need to pre-fire or pre-aim, or switch to just hip fire. So having the left fire button displayed will definitely help you. Now slide while running, I have tap crouch while sprinting. Hold to crouch while sprinting is just basically the way I like it is to have it so I just tap it and then I sprint. That's all I want. If I had it the other way, then it's harder to predict and harder to play. Now always sprint, I have it pretty high because I do want to get into a sprint easily, but I don't want to always sprint. And the reason why this is because if you're always sprinting, it's gonna make it bad when you're getting into close combat situations because you're not gonna be able to get your gun up fast enough. Remember, walking is a very good skill. People always run everywhere, but you don't need to do that. Now gyroscope, I have it on, and then for camera FOV, I have it just at 60. You can manipulate this however you want. However, it does make it harder. So for example, if you're a sniper, I wouldn't necessarily say make it so you can see more because it's going to make your target appear smaller. So just keep that in mind. Maybe 1 or 2 up, I guess digits up, but I wouldn't change it too much. But maybe you would like that, so do that. Now, audio and graphics, I have my music audio off, and I have my graphic quality high as possible and my frame rate max. So always keep frame rate in mind. Basically, frame rate is the best thing to have. It doesn't matter how low your graphic quality is. I keep it high because videos and stuff, but yeah, keep your frame rate as high as possible. Now, graphic style, I just like dynamic. I like how that looks in Battle Royale. So, sensitivity. Now we're going to get into the good stuff. Fixed rate, distance acceleration, and speed acceleration. I'm going to explain all of this. I tried to explain it last time in my video, and I don't think I did a very good job, so I'm going to redo it now. Fixed speed means you get exactly what you do. So if you're on fixed speed, depending on how you move your finger, depending on your standard sensitivity, that is going to be exactly how you move. Now, if you're on speed acceleration, however, depending on what your acceleration value is, that's going to determine how fast you turn. So let's say you move your finger across your screen very fast. That plus the, or not necessarily plus, but multiplied by the acceleration value is going to give you the value that's going to end up where basically where your button is. So this is way harder to predict than fixed speed. So that's why a lot of people say stick to fixed speed. Now, if you're a sniper, I highly recommend having distance acceleration. And now what this does is, based upon how far you're looking out, it speeds it up. So let's say you're a sniper and you're just scoped in and you're trying to see someone from far away. If you have fixed speed, it's going to take way longer to move across that field or that expanse than distance acceleration. Distance acceleration allows you to close the gap faster. So it just accelerates when you're looking far away. That's what I like. Now, for my standard sensitivity, I just have it at 110, ADS 123, and sniper scope 124. Now, my tactical scope, I have it just a bit lower than my sniper, but to be honest, it could be the same. It's just really up to you. Now, for firing sensitivity, I have like my firing sensitivity at 82 and ADS at 80, tactical 120, and sniper scope sensitivity doesn't really do anything, so just sitting there at 300. Gyroscope sensitivity, however, I have at 300 and ADS 72. I haven't really done anything with tactical scope because I don't use it, but sniper scope, I do actually use gyroscope when using a sniper. Sometimes I'll use it to flick using gyro, which is super fun, and it does help. For example, if you're shooting out really far away, and let's say you get shaky or something when you are scoped in or you get nervous, it's easier to actually tilt your device to get that shot. That's what I like to do. So, next thing we're going to go into is Battle Royale settings. Now, what the heck? Oh, sensitivity, Battle Royale mode. Okay. So it's basically the same, just a little bit different. It's not always updated, but basically your 4 times and your 3 times, everything else is the same. Just keep that in mind. Your 4 times and 3 times, however, just make it a little bit less than your sniper. That's all you have to do. So maybe 20 or 30 points less. So that's what I like to do. For optics is basically almost like your regular standard sensitivity, and then FPP view turning sensitivity, that's 110. So optics would be like a red dot sight or something. So I would keep that pretty much the same as my FPP viewing sensitivity. Now, firing sensitivity, I still have yet to mess with my gyroscope settings, but just imagine everything as the same as multiplayer mode. The only difference is the 4 times and the 3 times, which you just want to have a little bit lower than your sniper. And remember, sniper scope sensitivity, when you're firing, it really doesn't do anything because it's one shot. Now, that's all I really have for settings. So, yeah, there you go. Now I'm going to get into how you can predict and tweak your own sensitivity. So, yeah, we're going to get into that. Hope you guys enjoyed this little tidbit. And yeah, let's get into it. So, now that you know mine, I'm going to show you how to create your own. The first thing you want to do is hop into a bot match. You want to then only hit fire for the first match and see how accurately you can track the other players. Tweak your turn sensitivity until you're able to laser onto them. Now begin to tweak firing sensitivity, and this is basically when you're shooting at them, you should be able to still stay on target while hip firing. Once you feel good with this, load into another bot match and now mess with your ADS. Make sure you can stay on target while moving. Practice jumping off of objects and shooting or jump shotting. This will help you easily see what you need to tweak and improve on. This time, tweak ADS and firing ADS. You should be able to easily switch and snap onto targets, but also be able to stay on target. Keep in mind while doing this that if you don't seem to be staying on target because of the speed or not able to catch a target because it's too slow, then that's when you need to move it up or down. Please also keep in mind that a high sensitivity essentially means nothing. Use what works best for you. In fact, during most pro matches, many pro players have lowered sensitivity to be able to aim better, so high sensitivity doesn't really mean anything. Once you've done this, go into a high pressure situation like a ranked match or a gun game or free-for-all to test your reaction speed with the settings. And repeat this until the only problem is just your aim. Basically, the only issue you should have is improving your aim. Don't get discouraged. This can take a while. And you guys, you're going to know when an issue is your sensitivity or it's your aim, I promise you. Please keep in mind that one, distance acceleration is best used for sniping, and fixed is really good for being a well-rounded player. But if you're on phone, using fixed could force you into a high sensitivity, while speed acceleration is good for, I guess subverting that. It's really hard to predict. So Yeah, if you're an AR player, it'd be pretty good to just spin around. That's what I think speed acceleration is good for, if you can predict it. But it's usually pretty hard to predict, so I say stay usually with fixed or distance acceleration. The second thing is, don't try to force yourself into a sensitivity you're not comfortable with unless you're using gyroscope or quick scoping, because for these particular sensitivities you have to get used to be able to use it effectively. Lastly, you should always be tweaking and refining your sensitivity. It can always get better, and as you grow in the game, your sensitivity will change as well, so you need to make sure to change your sensitivity to suit you. But that brings us to the end. Before we go, let me know in the comments whether you're using speed, distance, or fixed acceleration, because I want to know. Also, come back to this video after using these tips for a while and let us know any other tips you have found. Please share your ideas and experiences with each other so we can all get better together. Thanks for checking me out. If this video did not help you, that's too bad, but I hope I can aid you next time. However, if it did, take a good long look at that like button. And if you liked it, hit it. And if you want to see more of my content, subscribe and hit the bell button to get more COD Mobile news, gameplays, essays, and tricks and tips. I put out videos every day, 2 p.m. Eastern Time. So if that's something you're into, consider subscribing. Tygon out.